If you've ever felt overwhelmed trying to manage all the moving pieces of your business, your ideas, your content, your clients, your notes, you're not alone. So many of the women that I work with feel called to create something meaningful, but the tech and behind the scenes systems can feel like a lot. That's why I created what I'm sharing with you today. If we haven't met before, I'm Jenny, and I love to help coaches and creatives with behind the scenes systems that can often feel overwhelming and keep them from sharing their magic. I really believe that your systems should support your calling, not slow you down. They don't need to be complicated, they don't need to be expensive, and they definitely don't need to feel overwhelming. What I've found is that when things are simple and organized, you have more space to actually show up, serve people, and create from a place of peace. And that's what I want for you. So today, I want to give you a little look inside something I created called the Wholehearted Business HQ or headquarters, which is a dashboard in Notion designed specifically for coaches and creative business owners who want a simple, clear place to manage their business. Inside, you'll find spaces for things like client management, session notes, content planning, offers and ideas, and goals and projects. What I love about this is that everything lives in one place. You're not jumping between a bunch of different tools trying to keep track of everything. It's calm, it's organized, and it's designed to grow with you. So I'm just going to give you a little look around in here. So this is what it looks like. And if you've never used Notion before, no worries. It's actually really easy, really user-friendly to get started. And this is a template that you can purchase from me. And when you do, I have tutorial videos that walk you step by step through each part. So this is the like dashboard homepage. And so you'll see down on the left side all the different areas that are covered. So in the core section, we have clients and contacts, heart, and I'll go through each of these. Your offers, your shop. You can actually build a shop right here in Notion. And then in the planning section, a place for goals and projects, task manager, and a planner. And then in online presence, this is a place for you to store your brand, like details, photos, your hex codes, things like that. Marketing, like where you're sharing about your business. This is a place to keep track of all of that. And then your content, there's a blog section. And then in the admin area, we have finances, growth. So this is like a place where you would keep track of any courses, that you are enrolled in and like going through, any memberships, things like that, resources that you want to keep track of, and then any affiliate relations. So like if you have affiliate links to promote things, you would store all of those here. So this page is pulling from some of those areas. So it's just kind of like the top of mind things that you would see as you log into your Notion headquarters dashboard. So when you go to each of these areas, so if I click on this clients and contacts, it'll open up a new page. And then this is where you would keep track of clients that you're working with. So you would put in their name. So it comes up new coaching client, but I'm just going to make up a name here. We're just going to name her Molly Shores. And I don't know why that just came to mind, but okay, Molly Shores. So then you'll see if I hover over it, it says open. And so if I open this, it gives you all these different areas that you can complete. Now, this doesn't need to feel overwhelming because it's a lot that you see right here. When you get the template, I go through all of these things and help you, figure out just what to put in here and which areas you don't need to worry about. But the cool thing is, with each client, you can also give them their own client portal. And this is pretty powerful because you can have this main page for the client where you keep track of notes. So like if you come down here, you can keep track of notes from each session that you have, but you can also give them a portal where, let's see if I open this up. And then I'm going to say Molly's client portal. Okay. And so this is now her client portal. And again, I walk you through how to use all of this, but this is a space where you can share notes with her. So you've got the main page for each client where that's kind of like your personal back end um, notes that you want to keep on each session. But then this is an area where you can actually share this page with her, and then she'll just see what you put on here. And she can also, if you enable it, she can also um, put information on there. So it's pretty great. Like you can have like a resource that you want to share with her, so you could put a link in here. Or if you record your sessions, you could put the recording in here, whether that's a link or an embedded video or whatever. You could put all of that in here. So that's pretty cool that you can do all of this right here in Notion. Now, you can use Notion for free. When you're doing this, though, if you're sharing client portals, you do have to pay. I think it's once you have 3 or more. So I want to say it's $9.95 a month or $9.99 or something like that, which, is pretty affordable compared to a lot of other programs where you could manage your client information. And then you've got space to keep track of a lot of other things here. Oops, I don't know if you're seeing this, but my video recorder is asking me if I want to update. Not right now. Okay, so then you would just click on these little arrows to close this, and then we'll come down. The next section on this page is the contacts page. So this is where you would keep track of other contacts that you have, maybe somebody who's not a client, but other coaches or, friends, acquaintances, or people that you work with that are not a client, but you work with them in some other capacity. You can include all of their information here. And whenever you want to add a new one, you would just click on this plus new page. You would type their name and go from there. The other way you could do it is over here, this blue new button. If you click the arrow, you can click on this new contact, and then the same thing will come up. This is a place where you can keep track of your meetings, meeting type, and I'm just going to say coaching session. I'm going to give it a date. So if you click on here, the calendar comes up, and I'm just going to say it's tomorrow. And then the client, when you click on that, your clients will pop up, and then this will populate to this client. So I'm going to click on Molly, and so there she is. And then the contact, I didn't put her contact info in yet, but that would also show up there. Location, you can put like whether that's on Zoom, phone call, meeting, in person, or other. I'm kind of going into detail here. But let's kind of move forward through here. Client communication. This is where you can store, like copy paste what you would put in those emails, just so you kind of have it all right here when you're inviting someone. And then you can do forms right here in Notion. So like an intake form, and then when you're finished, either with a session or with like a block of sessions, a whole coaching package, you could give them a feedback form. So you could decide whether you want to do that like throughout your coaching time with them or wait till the end. Again, here's the client portal access. You could create proposals in here and their invoice, and I go through all of that in the tutorials. Okay, let's skip through to the next part. This heart section is a place for you to record your mission, your values, your vision for your business. And then you can go through all these, it kind of some journaling prompts in here for you for each of these who, what, why, who, what, when, where, how for your business. And this works with a coaching business or really any kind of online business. Okay, the next section is your offers. And this is where you would put in what your offers are. And you can say whether they're, you know, whether it's a package, whether it's a digital product, whether it's a physical product, a course, whatever it is, you can record all of those in here. Um, and that way you have your links handy so that when somebody asks you, how do I sign up for this? You can quickly just come in here, grab the link and send it. And then if you go to the shop page, you could actually make this look kind of like a Shopify store or an Etsy store. And all of these right here, we just have description, but when you actually open this up, let's see. If you do layout, gallery, it shows show page icon, which is this little thing here. So if I take that off, that little page will go away. So you could put a different icon there if you want to. But you could also put in like a photo. I'm going to go ahead and open this up. Nope, click the pencil to open it up. Okay, I do have photos in here, so let's go back and see. Click on edit property. Layout, oh, property visibility, is that it? Nope. Let's see. I think it's in layout and I missed something there, didn't I? Gallery is what we want. That's showing that they're side by side. You could also do a list where it would just show up. If I had more than one thing, it would show up this way, or in a table. But I want it, you could do a board view that shows it's, and I go through this in all the tutorials, but you can decide how you want them to be in a board, whether it's by their status, or it could be by type of product, or you can decide how you want those to be listed. But I'm going to go back to gallery, show data source child. No, I'm just looking for preview. There we go. Page cover. There we go. And then you can have a photo of whatever that is. So then if I open this up, whatever photo you put up here would be what shows up on that page. So then it looks like a real product that they just click on, and then they see the price, and then you can have it linked to wherever your checkout is. And, you know, that could be something like Stripe or PayPal or even Venmo. Whatever link you put in there is where they'll go to pay for it. So the way that I have this one organized right now, it has products, services, and you could do the same thing with this where you have a photo. Maybe you create a graphic in Canva and you could put that as the photo, courses. So you can make this look however you want. So I'm going to come back here to this home page. And then in the planning section, we have a place to plan out your goals and projects, which link together. So projects, the projects that you have can relate to these goals. And then you can also pull tasks from those, which I walk you through. So here's the task. It would just create like a calendar. Well, this creates kind of like a database, like a table, but you can also see it in a calendar view so you know what things are coming up. And then this planner is like if you want to come to this page and see like, what do I just have today? Or what do I have this week? This is where you would do this, and these will populate from those other pages. And then when you come down here to online presence, if you go to brand, this is where, this is just a brand that I made up, but you could create something in Canva, upload it here, and then this is just a place for you to have your hex codes handy. I know a lot of times like I want everything to match on every platform, right? So sometimes you need to know what those hex codes are. And so instead of going into Canva and looking for it there or whatever, you could just pull it right from here and then keep track of the names of the typography that you use for the different parts of your branding. And then a place for your mission, like your one line statement. your brand voice. So, like, are you warm and friendly? Are you a little sassy? Are you, wise and, authoritative? Like, you can just kind of put in here what your brand messaging is and like for your voice for your brand. So it's just something to always kind of filter everything through. Every piece of content that you're sending out, you want it to sound the same. And then down here, you can have a mood board. Um, so just images that kind of represent your brand, whether you actually use them in your branding or not, is kind of inspirational images. And then in marketing, this is where you can keep track or even do like drafts of emails that you want to send out. So you would put the subject, the send date, any attachments, and when you, let's just create this. I just created it I just clicked on it and then clicked off. So now I can open it. And then this is where you would just kind of brain dump all your ideas for what that is, what your email is going to be when you send it out. And then, so you'll put the send date, what your call to action is, because really every email needs to have a call to action because you want people to engage with you. If you have any attachments, description, segment. So like if you have a list an email list of like 3,000 people, but you want to only send this to the people that are interested in this one thing, or only to people who are your current clients, or only people who are not your current clients and you want them to be clients. You can choose which section or segment of your email list you want to send this to. And then in status, if you click on it, it'll automatically come up as not started, but then you could put in progress or done. Or you can create your own, um, like you could do, like if it's already written, you could create that as another status. Oh, actually, you would click over here to do that. Edit property, and then you would um, you would add one here and make it say written, not, or scheduled. Let's do scheduled because that means it's probably already written, right? So we'll just say scheduled and then it'll show up right here. But I actually want to move it down to that's more like in progress. So I would put it down here under scheduled. And then you could click on the dots if you want to change the color. Probably red's not great for that. I'll make it orange. Red makes it feel like urgent. Okay, so I'm going to click off of that. Next section down here is if you have a referral program, like if you have a service or a product that you can offer an affiliate link for, you could put that here, like what the thing is. Maybe if you have a special going on or something, you can keep track of those here. And then this is an idea or a section to keep track of all of your ideas. And again, a place to put the date that you posted or plan to post it, and then the status. And then if you come over here, you can also just copy and paste the link right here so you have everything handy. And then this part, category, don't know why I skipped over. If you click on one of these, you'll see all the options come up and you can select one of these. And then a place for paid ads. So I don't currently run any paid ads, but if you do, this would be a place where you could keep track of those. And then let's see, we're in content. Let's go to blog. So I'm learning about Substack and starting my own Substack. I started blogging way back in 2008 when my youngest was a baby. And I went from Blogspot to I've used TypePad, WordPress. I love Squarespace. That's where my current website is. But you can also just do a blog right here in Notion. And so I walk you through how to do that. Although my current recommendation is probably going to change to Substack because I'm learning what you can do in there. And it's really pretty great. And the benefit of Substack is that it's, I guess it depends on what your goal is. With Substack, it can be pushed out to more people. Other people can recommend, or and it can be, you can decide if you want it to be seen content or not. Um, where in here, this is really only going to show to people that you show it to. It's not something that people are just going to naturally find, most likely. Um, so I'm going to come back. Down here under admin, I have finances. So this is a place for you to keep track of all your income and expenses here. These are all just made up ones. Um, and then your revenue, and then where you can keep track of subscriptions. And then at the bottom, a space for um, your business wish list. Like these are things that you're striving for. Not really in the budget yet, maybe, but things that you would like to do, whether that's a service or a tool or a conference or, retreat or something like that. You could keep track of those things here with links and everything, what they cost, things like that. In this growth section, these are, you can keep track here of things, skills that you want to learn and improve. Again, these are ones that I just kind of made up for this demo, but some others where you could keep track of learning and education. So you can keep track of all kinds of different things here. I have it set up to where you keep track of whether it's a book, a course, a podcast. Do I have others? A membership, just a video. Maybe you see a random video on YouTube and you want to keep it. Instead of keeping a million tabs open, you could just copy the link to that video and put it in here. So there's a place to put the name of it. You can put tags, and you can change these if you want to, the type of content that it is, and then the URL. And then if you have any, like maybe somebody sent you a PDF in an email that you want to keep handy in your learning and education section here, you could upload it here. So add that attachment. And then you can keep track of any wins that you have, achievements and milestones, gold star actions, as my friend Liberty would say. So that's whether it's a certification or something that you've been striving for, a goal that you met or something like that. Keep track of all those wins, because when you're feeling discouraged, it helps to look back and be like, oh yeah, look at all these things I've done. And then down here, you can track networking and membership. So these would be like things that you are involved in with other people. And then down here, mentors that you want to learn from, and you can put their name. You could also say, I put somebody's name here, and I'll just put Edie Wadsworth because she is the coach in the program that I am in. And then I highlight her name. Then you'll get this little window that pops up. And right here, you could add a link. And so then you could either link to their podcast page or their YouTube channel or their course page or their website, something like that. So that, you have some extra free time or you're cleaning and you want something to listen to that's helpful and meaningful. You can come right here and follow that link. Okay, in the resources section, this is, now I put some of the same things here that were from that other list. So the, like the Rewire Your Brain podcast is excellent. There's different things that you could put in here, whether it's a, let's see, what do I have here? Personal growth, professional growth, inspiration, a tool, or internal use, like something that's just for you to grow. So another place to keep track of all of these, and these are not necessarily, some of them might also be like growth. That's why you saw them on the last page, but it also could be like Zapier is a tool that you can use to connect one platform to another, where if you're just getting started, you don't need to worry about that. And in fact, I used to pay for Zapier and I don't anymore because I've found workarounds for almost everything. I figure the less things I can pay for, the better. But this is where you could keep track of tools and things like that that you use in your business. And then customer resources. So This could be um, links to things that you use. This could be things that you create, like freebies and things like that. You could keep track of all of those here. And then affiliate relations would be a section for if you're enrolled in a program and you are given the opportunity to promote it to other people and earn a commission on that, you would keep track of those things here. You could also use this for products, whether that's an Amazon store or shop, what's it called? What's LTK? Like to know. Anything like that. You could keep all of those here. So overall, I'll just go back to the home page here. That's not it. So overall, this is a system that just kind of helps you keep everything organized. So if you've been wanting a simpler way to run your business behind the scenes, maybe you've been holding a lot in your head, or like I said, keeping a lot of tabs open. You've tried other systems before that didn't stick. This might feel like a gentle starting place. It's very low cost. It could be free unless you're using that client portal. And then once you get, I think is it 3 or 10? I'll link it in the description. But you don't have to pay right at first. It's just if that's something that you're using and you want to share a client portal with people, you do have to pay at some point. So this might be a good place for you to start. It's not perfect, it's not complicated, but it's simple, supportive, and doable. And one of my favorite things is to help people with things like this. So if this sounds really great, but you're just not sure how to set it up, one of my favorite things is to get on a Zoom call with somebody and walk them through things like this, where we share screen and I walk you through how to set it up and kind of talk through what parts would be best for you, because obviously you probably aren't going to use every single part of this right away, but you'll have it in case you want to use it eventually. So I love helping women build businesses in a way that feels clear and sustainable. So along with this Notion template, I also have, I love to help people with web design. So I have Canva website templates that are super easy to create a whole website in Canva. In fact, I'll show that to you. So this is a website that I built in Canva, and I have a template so you could take this and customize it for your business. And it looks just like a website that you could build on Squarespace or anywhere else. And I walk you through in tutorials exactly how to customize this for yourself. Super easy, super affordable. So that's one option. I also have Squarespace templates where you can, same thing, you can choose one of these templates to get started in Squarespace. It's a little bit higher price point to maintain it that way, but it's a more robust website. So if that's something you're looking for, I would love to help you get started with that. I also offer custom web design services. So if you see something and you're like, not exactly what I need, and I don't really want to take the time to customize it, just do it for me. I have that option for you as well. So if any of this sounds like something that you've been needing, I'll put all the details below so you can take a closer look. And if you're just getting started or even thinking about getting started, you're in the right place. So I'll be sharing more videos here about simple systems, tech, and creative business, whether that's coaching or something else, in a way that's meant to feel approachable and doable. My motto is practically imperfect, because imperfect is more practical, and it's better to just get something out there than to make it perfect. You can always tweak things as you go. You don't have to figure everything out all at once. You can take this one small step at a time. Please let me know if you have any questions, and I'm really glad you're here. Thanks for joining me.